Hi, football lovers all around the world. Hi to all Gunners fans all around the world. I wish everybody had a super good weekend. I remain your host, Simply Ike, and we bring you another special edition of the Arsenal Alchemy. And today we are going to delve into some transfers. I will really crave your indulgence in these transfers. And one of such transfers is the Martinelli link to Bayern Munich. It's actually Bayern Munich and AC Milan. We understand this deal is actually, there's a lot of substance to it. There's a lot of truth to it. So I'd like to know what your take would be if we decide to sell Martinelli. But I'm going to tell you what my opinion is about this sale. I'm going to talk about that in a very short while. Then we're also going to peruse the Gyökeres deal, the Rodrigo deal, and the Sesko deal. And also, we're going to look at the Thomas Partey contract situation. If he's going to stay or if he's going to leave. It's looking like he's going to leave. We are going to delve into that, and I'm going to tell you my own opinion. So first, we start with the shocker that Bayern Munich are seriously inquiring about Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli is a player we bought some years back. I think we bought him for £6 million, and he came very young. He came at 17, and he immediately connected with the academy. So you can call him a homegrown player because he was bought young and he played for the academy. He started in a very devastating form when he first came. Did some good things in the Carabao Cup. Had some cameo appearances for the senior team. Then about 3-4 seasons ago, he came into the first team properly and became a starter. His first season was devastating. He had a very decent season that period, and he scored goals. I think he scored about 15 league goals and a few assists that period. He was decent. Then, like I said in my about 2 posts ago, that his decline started when he picked up this injury. It was a game between us and Brighton, and Caicedo was the one that inflicted that injury on him. Since he came back from that injury, I think it was an ankle injury, he had never been the same. And I think we are judging Gabriel Martinelli harshly because most of the players we're linking to replace him have very similar stats to him. It's not like they've done better. It's not like they had more goals. It's not like they had glaringly more assists. It's not like they had, they influenced the game better than him. So I think it's being harsh. But on the other hand, I understand the club has to make money. The book has to be balanced. There has to be someone that has to leave. A scapegoat, sort of. They have to sell someone if they are to purchase this other players they want to buy. But you have to look at other things. Martinelli is a hard worker. All these other players being linked to us, we were linked to Madueke, we were linked to Garnacho, we're being linked to Rodrigo, which is decent. We're being linked to Rafa Leao of AC Milan. The only person I can really be excited about being linked to is Ademola Lookman. I feel Lookman would be an upgrade on Martinelli. The rest, I am not so sure because that left side, Martinelli covers up for Miles Lewis-Skelly a lot, and whoever plays in that left defensive wing back, he covers up, he tracks back. He's a tireless worker. At most, if you wanna do it right, at most you bench him. But selling him outrightly, you don't know what you're bringing into the EPL. Most of these players being linked to us have no EPL experience. So to me, it's a bit of a gamble. I don't think it will work. I think we should keep Martinelli. I think we should keep him, even if you're going to buy another player. Let him be there as a sub, as an impact sub. Come in, read the game from the bench, and use his pace over a very wary defense. And yeah, so that's what I feel. Rodrigo is a very skillful, technical player, but he's not known for his defensive work. He's not known for his pace. With Martinelli, we could be a better transition team. We could be a better team when it comes to transitioning from defense to attack. So, to me, I feel it's a gamble. But at the same time, if we can get 50 million, which is the price we put on him, if we can get 50 million for him, he will be our most expensive player. And yes, I understand, as football is a business, sometimes these decisions have to be taken. If you're bringing in a 70 million striker, 60, 70 million winger, a 55 million pound holding midfielder, then someone has to leave the team. Someone has to go. So that is my take on Martinelli. I feel it's a gamble. I'd rather keep him, get what we can get for Trossard, and cash in on Trossard. There are other players that are dead weights in the team that we can actually still sell and make up for this. But I don't think Martinelli is the player. He is a weapon. He's always been, So that's my take on it. A lot of people think otherwise, but that's my take on it. So the next issue we're going to delve into is the issue of acquiring a striker. Today is the 22nd of June, and we still don't have a striker, which is very poor, which is very, very sad indeed. I hate to compare us to Liverpool, who have been doing their businesses swiftly without no hassles. They are even selling players. They're about to sell Kwanzaa to Leverkusen for 30 million. That is a great deal. They're recovering some of the money they spent on the strikers, on the midfielders. But we haven't sold anybody. We haven't made any major sales. We haven't brought anybody in. The Gyökeres situation, we've been put in the dark. We as fans, we as pundits, we have been put in the dark over that transaction. Nothing is going on. Nothing seems to be going on. We don't know what is going on. We know, the good thing is we know the player wants to join us, Victor Gyökeres, and the popular consensus is that everybody wants Gyökeres to join Arsenal. Most people want Gyökeres to join Arsenal over Sesko. Sesko is the other player we're being linked to. But even with Sesko, there's been some clause he's trying to introduce in his contract. He wants us to include a release clause in his contract and inflate his price by 20%. So that, let's say we buy him for about 70 million pounds, which we will be selling him for about 83 million pounds, So that kind of puts a lot of, a lot of doubt in this transaction, in this our pursuit of Sesko, because I don't think Arsenal will put a release clause on a player we just bought for a lot of money, potentially for a lot of money. I don't think it will happen. So with that, I am thinking there will be a lot of doubt over that transaction with Sesko. I don't think that transaction is going to happen. I think Arsenal is going to focus more on Victor Gyökeres. The good thing is he's told his family, he's told his friends that he's confident of joining Arsenal. Right now, he wants Sporting Lisbon to adhere to the initial contract agreement he had with them last season when they set his release clause, his release clause. It was supposed to be about 60 million euros, but Manchester United came into the fold, and somehow the release clause went up to about 80 million, 85 million euros. So he wants them to go back to the initial agreement of 65 million euros or 60 million euros, something in that region. And Arsenal is kind of like, trying to see if they can get him for that initial price tag. And to me, if you ask me, I'll just say, just go on, meet them in the middle or something. Quote about 70 million pounds for him. And I'm sure probably they will take it. 70 million euros, sorry. I'm sure they probably will take it. You meet them somewhere, and let's get a striker dilemma. Let's get it over with, because it's beginning to take a lot of our time. It's beginning to stress the fans. The fans are going very apprehensive. Everybody is waiting for these deals to be done. Remember, we need early deals because of our fixture, which is another thing I wanted to talk about. Our first 6 fixtures are horrible. We have Manchester United, the first game. The third game, we have Liverpool. The fourth game, we have Nottingham Forest. The fifth game, we have Manchester City. The sixth game, we have Newcastle. So our first 6 games are very brutal. We need to start the season on fire. Every player we have has to show up. Every player has to be on top of their game. Everybody, we should take it as the first 6 games should be like finals, because they are tough games, whether home or away. These games are tough games. And we know in the EPL, your start is very, very important. It is very important to start. A lot of these contract talks are dragging on. Also with the talk about Thomas Partey, who is about 75% chances of leaving at the moment. We had a contract talk stalemate with him. He is insisting on more money, and Arsenal is like, no, they're not going to offer you more money. We can maintain your current wage. We are not going to offer you more money. Currently, he's on about £205,000 a week. And I think this is not even Thomas Partey talking. I think it's his agent, just being greedy, not caring about the team that bought him for 5 years. In those 5 years, he had four very poor years, because not his fault, but due to injuries. But this club was paying him 200 and above every week, despite the injury. I mean, this is a time. Yes, he had a very good season because he was fit for most part of the season. But then it's not like he was so good throughout the season, in my opinion. There was a lot of lack of concentration in a lot of our games, like the PSG game. I think the second leg, I think he had a very, very poor game in that game. To me, I think he had a very poor game. So I think this was an opportunity for him to try and pay Arsenal back instead of demanding more money, knowing that Arsenal's wage bill is so high, you know, knowing our payroll is so high. It's one of the highest in the EPL, So I think that is very insensitive of him to live like that just because of money, because you had one good season in the whole of five. Now you feel you are eligible for a pay rise. Meanwhile, you're 32 years old. The legs are going. We can see that the legs are going. He's very experienced. That was why I would have let him stay. But if a player is not willing to sacrifice for us, I'll be the first to tell you, look, you need to go. If your mind is not if your mind is not for Arsenal 100%, then I think you should leave. I don't care if you're Thomas Partey or anybody. If your mind is not there, we have dealt with similar things in the past, and I can only wish Thomas Partey, good luck. Like I said in my last post, if he wants to leave, he should leave. If he thinks the grass will be greener in other places, then he's very, very free to leave. Now, on that note, we'll come to the end of today's edition. You tell me what you feel. Should Martinelli leave? And if he's going to leave, what do you think? What do you think is going to be of us? Are we going to be better? And what about the sale of Gyökeres, Sesko? Do we completely abandon Sesko? Should we completely forget about that deal and focus more on Gyökeres? Just pay whatever Sporting wants and get him. Should we get Rodrigo? Should we get Rafa Leao? Are they going to make us better? These are what I want us to discuss in the comment section. And remember to do like and subscribe to this channel. If you like what the content we're bringing, do like and subscribe. And until next time, it's goodbye.